But few of these thermometer strips fail to measure up to the highest degree of accuracy.
DDT content is even higher than government specifications.
Or you could use a wet abrasive or a chemical stripper.
Once celebrated for their innovation, some household products of the past turned out to be downright dangerous. How did such perilous products gain popularity? From radium toothpaste laced with radioactive materials to DDT-based insecticides. Join us as we uncover 20 hazardous household items that thankfully no longer exist. In the early 20th century, radium toothpaste was introduced as a groundbreaking product for whitening teeth. Companies like Doramad advertised that the radioactive radium in their toothpaste could enhance oral health by improving blood circulation and killing bacteria. At the time, people believed these claims and used the product regularly, unaware of the hidden dangers. Radium is highly radioactive, and prolonged exposure can cause serious health problems, including radiation poisoning, cancer, and even death. The risks were poorly understood then, and radium was promoted as a beneficial addition to various household items. Over time, as scientists learned more about the harmful effects of radiation, the use of radium in consumer goods was prohibited. Safer alternatives were developed to replace these hazardous products, marking a significant shift in public health and product safety. This change reflected the growing understanding of the dangers linked to radioactive substances. The dangers of radium in toothpaste were hidden, but what about other toxic substances once used in personal care products? Let's explore glass baby bottles. Glass baby bottles were standard in homes from the late 1800s until the mid-20th century. They were popular because they could be easily sterilized, which helped maintain cleanliness and prevent infections in babies. Made from strong glass, these bottles could handle high temperatures during sterilization. Despite their advantages, glass bottles had some significant problems. They were heavy and could break easily, posing a risk of injury to both babies and parents. The risk of glass breaking was a serious concern, especially in homes with active children. Even with these dangers, glass bottles remained widely used until plastic baby bottles became available in the mid-20th century. Plastic bottles quickly became popular because they were lighter and could not break, making them safer and more practical for everyday use. Their durability and ease of use led to the gradual replacement of glass bottles in most households. In the middle of the 20th century, people used DDT-based insecticides widely in homes and gardens to control pests. DDT, short for dichloro-diphenyl-triochloroethane, was initially celebrated for its ability to fight insect-borne diseases like malaria and typhus. Over time, research revealed that DDT posed significant risks to humans and wildlife. Long-term exposure causes serious health problems such as cancer and reproductive disorders. Its environmental effects were equally damaging as it built up in the food chain, harming birds and other animals. The dangers of DDT came to light in Rachel Carson's 1962 book Silent Spring, which explained its harmful effects on ecosystems and human health. This book sparked widespread concern and led to stricter regulations. Eventually, many countries banned DDT during the 1970s to protect both the environment and public health, marking a turning point in efforts to manage the impacts of chemical pesticides. Lead-based paint was widely used in homes because it was durable, dried quickly, and looked fresh for a long time. This paint contained lead, a toxic substance that posed serious health risks. Prolonged exposure to lead-based paint could cause lead poisoning, which is especially harmful to children. They were more vulnerable to its effects, which could lead to developmental problems, learning disabilities, and behavioral issues. Severe cases of lead poisoning could result in seizures, coma, or even death. Health experts began raising concerns about the dangers of lead in the early 20th century as its harmful effects became well documented. These warnings highlighted the serious risks associated with lead-based paint, particularly in homes where children were exposed to its dangers. Due to these significant health risks, lead-based paint in residential settings was banned in the late 1970s to protect public health. Lead-based paint poses serious health risks, especially for children. But could there be another hidden danger lurking in homes? Let's explore asbestos insulation next. Asbestos insulation was widely used in homes and buildings for its ability to resist fire and its durability. It was a popular choice from the early 1900s until the 1970s. Despite its usefulness, asbestos fibers are hazardous when inhaled. Long-term exposure to these fibers can lead to serious respiratory illnesses such as mesothelioma, a type of cancer, and asbestosis, a chronic lung disease. Workers who handled asbestos insulation faced significant health risks because they managed the material without proper protective equipment. The fibers could become airborne and be inhaled, causing severe health problems decades later. Even homeowners were at risk if renovations or repairs disturbed the insulation. As more people became aware of the dangers of using asbestos in insulation and other products, it was banned in many countries during the late 20th century to protect public health. Carbon tetrachloride was a widely used cleaning agent for removing stains from clothing, furniture, and carpets. It was also common in dry cleaning businesses and industries as a degreaser. While effective, this chemical poses serious health risks. Prolonged exposure was linked to severe damage to the liver and kidneys. People using it could inhale its fumes or absorb it through their skin, leading to headaches, dizziness, and nausea. Continued exposure caused more severe conditions, such as liver cirrhosis and kidney failure. Initially, the dangers of carbon tetrachloride were not fully understood, so it was widely used despite these risks. By the 1970s, research had clearly shown its harmful effects, prompting strict regulations and eventual bans in many countries. Its decline reflected growing awareness of the need for safer alternatives and increased concern for public health and workplace safety. For many years, mercury thermometers were a standard tool in homes, used for measuring body temperature, room temperature, and even during cooking. These devices relied on mercury, a highly toxic metal that responds to temperature changes by expanding and contracting, allowing for accurate readings. If a mercury thermometer breaks, the liquid mercury could spill and release harmful vapors into the air. Breathing in vapor poses serious health risks, including potential harm to the nervous system, kidneys, and lungs. Children were especially at risk, as exposure to mercury could cause developmental issues and long-term health problems. Despite the known dangers, these thermometers remained widely used for decades, mainly because their precision made them valuable. The serious health hazards of mercury exposure have become better understood, prompting a shift towards safer alternatives worldwide in households and medical settings. The risks of mercury thermometers make us question how other commonly used substances, like chloroform, were once considered safe. Let's explore how its dangers were uncovered. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, chloroform was widely used as an anesthetic for minor medical procedures at home. It was valued for quickly making patients unconscious, helping reduce pain during surgeries and other treatments. Despite its usefulness, chloroform carries serious health risks. Prolonged exposure was later connected to significant health problems, including cancer and damage to vital organs such as the liver and kidneys. Chloroform slows down the central nervous system, but repeated use could harm the liver and kidneys. At the time, people were unaware of these dangers, and its use became widespread without proper understanding of the risks. Reports of deaths and severe health complications brought increased attention and regulation. By the middle of the 20th century, safer anesthetics had replaced chloroform in medical practice, and regulations ensured its use was significantly reduced to protect public health. Bakelite was one of the first synthetic plastics created by Leo Baekeland in 1907. It became popular because of its strength and ability to resist heat, which made it perfect for many products like electrical insulators and kitchen tools. But Bakelite sometimes contained formaldehyde, a chemical known to be harmful. Formaldehyde can cause cancer, and workers involved in making Bakelite were at risk of inhaling fumes that could damage their lungs and lead to serious health problems. Even people using Bakelite products were not entirely safe, as the plastic could release small amounts of formaldehyde into the air over time. Despite these dangers, Bakelite continued to be used for many years because of its usefulness and durability. As more people became aware of the health risks linked to formaldehyde, safer alternatives were developed, and the use of Bakelite gradually decreased. Phenol-based cleaners were commonly used as strong disinfectants in homes and hospitals. These cleaners contained phenol, also known as carbolic acid, effectively killing bacteria and viruses. However, phenol is very corrosive and toxic. When inhaled or when it came into contact with the skin, it could cause severe burns, breathing problems, and even poisoning. In the 1970s, phenol-based cleaners were widely used, but their dangers were not fully understood. People using these products experienced symptoms like headaches, dizziness, and skin irritation. Long-term exposure to phenol could cause severe health issues, including damage to the liver and kidneys. Despite their ability to kill germs effectively, the harmful effects of phenol cleaners led to their reduced use. As awareness of the risks grew, safer cleaning products became more popular, and phenol-based cleaners gradually disappeared from everyday use. Aldrin and dieldrin were pesticides used from the 1950s to the 1970s to control pests on crops like corn, cotton, and citrus fruits. These chemicals were effective in pest control, but they were very harmful to both humans and animals. Being exposed to aldrin and dieldrin could cause severe damage to the nervous system, leading to symptoms like headaches, dizziness, and even seizures. Long-term exposure was connected to more severe health problems, such as liver damage and cancer. The environmental effects of these pesticides were also severe. Aldrin and dieldrin are types of pollutants that do not easily break down and can build up in the food chain, causing damage to wildlife. Birds and aquatic animals were particularly affected. The chemicals could also contaminate soil and water, leading to widespread environmental harm. This made aldrin and dieldrin a serious concern for human health and ecosystems. The harmful effects of aldrin and dieldrin on humans and wildlife are undeniable, but could other everyday products have similar risks? Flammable children's pajamas were common in many households until the mid-1900s. These pajamas were usually made from materials like cotton and rayon, which were highly flammable and posed a serious fire risk. In the 1940s and 50s, several tragic accidents occurred, resulting in severe injuries and even deaths. As a result, the U.S. government passed the Flammable Fabrics Act in 1953 to regulate the use of highly flammable fabrics, including those used in children's sleepwear. Even with this new law, it wasn't until the 1970s that stricter rules were implemented. Flame retardants were added to children's pajamas to reduce fire risk during this time. Unfortunately, these chemicals, such as brominated and chlorinated flame retardants, were later discovered to be harmful. This has led to their ban. Modern regulations now require children's sleepwear to be made from flame-resistant materials or designed to fit closely to reduce fire hazards. Lye-based drain cleaners were a popular product used to clear clogged drains. These cleaners contained sodium hydroxide, also called lye, a powerful and dangerous chemical. While they were very good at dissolving blockages, they also posed serious risks. If not handled properly, they could lead to painful burns to the skin and eyes. Breathing in the fumes could also lead to breathing problems and other health issues. One of the biggest dangers was the harm they could cause to children. Curious kids could easily touch or inhale the chemical, leading to serious injuries. The dangers of lye-based drain cleaners led to the creation of safer alternatives. Now, people use enzyme-based or mechanical drain cleaners, which are safer for humans and the environment. These alternatives work effectively without the harmful risks that come with lye-based cleaners. In the early 1900s, radium-infused water jugs were sold as products that could boost health. Companies claimed that these jugs, such as the Navigator, could improve energy and overall well-being by adding radioactivity to drinking water. These jugs were made of ceramic and lined with uranium ore, which released radon into the water as the radium broke down. People were encouraged to drink several glasses of this revigitated water daily, thinking it could cure illnesses like arthritis and old age. The truth was much more dangerous. Radium is a very radioactive substance, and being exposed to it for long periods can cause serious health problems, including cancer and radiation poisoning. Additionally, the water from these jugs contained harmful substances like arsenic and lead, making the health risks even worse. As scientific knowledge of radiation grew, using radium in consumer products was banned. In the middle of the 20th century, cigarette vending machines became a common feature in homes, cafes, and public spaces. These machines allowed people to easily buy cigarettes at any time, making smoking a regular part of daily life. With a machine in the home, it became more straightforward for people to get cigarettes, leading to higher rates of tobacco use and an increase in smoking-related illnesses. The machines were simple to use. Just insert a coin, pull a lever, and a pack of cigarettes would drop into a tray. This made it easy for both adults and minors to buy cigarettes, with no checks on age. As a result, smoking became more widespread, and many people, including teenagers, became addicted. Over time, the health risks of smoking, like lung cancer, heart disease, and breathing problems, became apparent. Laws were introduced to limit cigarette vending machines to protect public health, and many places eventually banned them. The widespread use of cigarette vending machines raised serious health concerns, but could other products of the time also pose hidden dangers? Let's explore the risks of flammable hairsprays next. Early hairsprays were known to catch fire easily. Introduced in the 1940s, these sprays contained chemicals like chlorofluorocarbons and other flammable substances such as propane and butane. While these ingredients worked well to keep hair in place, they were dangerous around open flames. If a person used the spray near a candle or a cigarette, the chemicals could catch fire quickly, leading to serious accidents. In one tragic event, a woman suffered fatal burns after lighting a cigarette before her hairspray had dried. This sad event showed just how risky these products were. Over time, due to safety and environmental issues, CFCs were banned. Manufacturers began using safer alternatives in their products. Still, even modern hairsprays can catch fire if not used carefully. To avoid accidents, people must be cautious when using these sprays near heat sources. Early air fresheners contained harmful chemicals like benzene and formaldehyde, known to cause cancer. These chemicals were used to mask bad smells and make the air smell better, but they were dangerous to health. For example, benzene can cause dizziness and headaches, and long-term exposure may lead to leukemia. Formaldehyde can irritate the eyes, nose, and throat, and if people are exposed to it for a long time, it could cause breathing problems and even cancer. In the 1950s and 60s, many people used these chemical-filled air fresheners in their homes without realizing the health risks. The chemicals were convenient for covering up unpleasant odors, but as science progressed, the harmful effects of these chemicals became clearer. Many dangerous air fresheners are no longer sold or have been made safer. Modern air fresheners now use natural ingredients and essential oils, offering a healthier choice for freshening indoor air. Early electric blankets were dangerous because they lacked proper safety features. They were invented in the early 1900s but were bulky and unreliable. They had a high risk of overheating without automatic shutoff mechanisms or temperature controls. This overheating could easily cause fires, leading to severe burns and property damage. One of the main problems was the absence of built-in thermostats, which allowed the blankets to heat up uncontrollably. This became even more dangerous if the blanket was left on for long periods or was folded, concentrating the heat in one spot. Many reports of fires and burns raised concerns about their safety. By the 1980s, improvements in technology led to electric blankets with automatic shutoff features and better temperature regulation, making them much safer to use. These advancements significantly reduced the risk of fires and burns, improving electric blankets' safety and reliability. Plumbing systems in older homes use lead pipes, creating serious health risks. Lead is a harmful material that can get into drinking water, especially if the pipes start to break down. This contamination was hazardous for young children because lead poisoning can lead to developmental delays, learning problems, and other major health issues. Lead pipes were commonly used for plumbing until the dangers of lead exposure were fully understood. One of the most well-known lead contamination incidents occurred in Flint, Michigan, where old lead pipes caused a public health emergency. The Flint water crisis showed how urgent replacing lead pipes in older buildings was. Efforts to remove and replace lead pipes continue, but many older homes still have these dangerous plumbing systems. Modern plumbing uses safer materials like copper and PVC to prevent lead contamination and to protect public health. While lead-based plumbing systems pose serious health risks, could other common household materials also silently affect our health? Let's explore the dangers of formaldehyde in pressed wood products next. Pressed wood products like plywood and particle board were commonly used in furniture and construction. These materials contain formaldehyde, a chemical in the glue that holds the wood particles together. Formaldehyde is a known carcinogen, which means it can cause cancer. When these products were new, they released formaldehyde gas into the air, a process called off-gassing. This posed serious health risks, especially in homes with poor ventilation. Exposure to formaldehyde can lead to a range of health problems, from irritation of the eyes, nose, and throat to more severe conditions like breathing issues and cancer. Children and older people were especially at risk. As awareness of formaldehyde's dangers grew, rules were created to reduce its use in building materials. These regulations aim to protect people from the harmful effects of chemicals, making homes and buildings safer.